Welcome to the Explainer. Close your eyes for just a second. Imagine the sheer scale of a creature so massive that its footsteps literally sound like thunder, and its silhouette completely blots out the sun. It's a terrifying but honestly awe-inspiring thought. Today, we're embarking on a cinematic explainer of the breathtaking science hidden within the monsterverse. We aren't just going to look at these towering behemoths as popcorn entertainment. No, we're going to look at the very real, very grounded science that makes them tick. Because, from the crushing depths of the ocean to the biological limits of scale, our natural world is far wilder than we usually give it credit for. So, what if the monsters were never just fiction? Think about it. Our planet Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. For the vast, overwhelming majority of that time, we humans weren't even a blip on the radar. But throughout that massive timeline, Earth has experienced 5 separate mass extinction events. 5 times where almost everything just died off. And yet, life always found a way to bounce back, often bringing forth something newer, stranger, and honestly, far larger. The Monsterverse essentially takes this dramatic reality of our planet's history and asks one incredibly captivating question. What if the biggest, most resilient survivors of those ancient eras never actually died out, but were just waiting to be discovered? Section 1. Ancient giants and impossible size. How biology scales. Okay, let's dive into this, because to truly appreciate these ancient giants, we really have to understand the physical limits of biological scale. We have to look at how nature actually governs size.
How can something be that big? I know exactly what you're thinking because it's the natural skepticism we literally all share when we see creatures the size of skyscrapers battling it out. A blue whale is massive, sure, but Godzilla, he makes a blue whale look like an absolute toy. Biologically speaking, it seems completely impossible for an organism of that magnitude to simply stand up, let alone walk, fight, or swim.
And you know what? That skepticism is entirely backed by hard science, specifically the square cube law. This is a scientific principle stating that as an animal scales up, its volume, and therefore its weight, increases exponentially faster than its surface area and the cross-section of its bones. If you just magically blew up an elephant to the size of a mountain, normal biology dictates that its bones would instantly crack under its own immense weight. Its heart simply wouldn't be strong enough to pump blood against that kind of gravity, and its lungs would just collapse. Under normal biological rules, a titan absolutely cannot exist. But here is the absolute genius of the Monsterverse. These titans don't run on normal food. They run on pure planetary radiation. The creators brilliantly bypassed the square cube law by treating these creatures less like fleshy mammals and more like living, breathing batteries. Instead of burning calories from eating plants or other animals, titans absorb radiation directly from the Earth's core. They take in that limitless, raw planetary energy much like a plant absorbs sunlight, providing them with the unimaginable power required to sustain bodies of that size without completely collapsing. Now you might be thinking, okay, a radiation-eating animal is pure sci-fi fantasy. But actually, in real-world extreme biology, scientists have discovered organisms surviving at the absolute bottom of the ocean near hydrothermal deep-sea vents. These organisms survive with zero sunlight, they require absolutely no traditional food, and they literally thrive off the chemical energy and radiation spewing right out of the Earth's crust. So the Monsterverse simply took a proven real-world biological survival mechanism and supersized it. Life, it turns out, finds a way, even in the most hostile environments imaginable. Section 2, Journey to Hollow Earth, Exploring the Unknown Depth. This brings us to where these creatures actually come from. Let's head downward, deep through the crust, into the theoretical and real mysteries hidden right beneath our feet. 0.2. I want you to take a moment and really let that number sink in. The Earth has a radius of roughly 6,371 kilometers. Humanity, with literally all of our advanced drilling technology, has only ever managed to bore down about 12 kilometers. That means we have physically explored less than 0.2% of what is beneath our feet. The sheer volume of unknown space inside our own planet is absolutely staggering. So what is actually down there? Well, we know that deep underground ecosystems survive in total darkness, running entirely on geothermal energy. Centuries ago, the brilliant astronomer Edmund Halley, the same guy who discovered Halley's Comet, theorized that the Earth could be hollow. Now, while modern seismology tells us the Earth is mostly molten rock and iron, scientists continually discover massive, deep underground cave systems filled with water, ancient microbes, and blind fish thriving where no sunlight has ever touched. The Hollow Earth and the Monsterverse is simply taking these very real geothermal-powered underground ecosystems and dramatizing them into a vast, hidden subterranean world. Section 3. Biology of Alpha Predators. Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it breaks down the scientific differences between our two ultimate alpha predators. Let's shift our focus to the undisputed kings of this monster world. When we contrast these two, we're really looking at two entirely different branches of extreme evolution. Godzilla is the product of 250 million years of nuclear evolution. He's an ancient apex predator, acting essentially as a living biological particle accelerator, storing up radiation and focusing it into a directed stream of energy. Kong, on the other hand, represents a much more grounded mammalian biology. He's a giant descendant of giant apes, utilizing high primate intelligence and tool usage rather than, atomic breath. Kong is incredibly relatable because his grounded reality perfectly mirrors what we already know about great apes. Kong uses tools for survival, forms complex social bonds, and clearly experiences grief and empathy. This isn't fantasy. This is factual intelligence observed in gorillas and chimpanzees today. And in the fossil record, we have actual evidence of the Gigantopithecus, a giant ape standing nearly 3 meters tall that roamed Asia hundreds of thousands of years ago. Kong is simply the fascinating answer to the question, what if that species never went extinct but retreated underground and just kept evolving? Section 4. Extremophiles and Alien Terraforming. The Roster of Titans. Of course, Godzilla and Kong aren't alone. Let's broaden our explanation now to see how the entire Titan roster represents real natural phenomena pushed to the absolute extreme. Every famous Titan has a fascinating real-world biological equivalent. Take Rodan, living inside an active volcano. That's a perfect, supersized parallel to extremophile bacteria that thrive in boiling acid and magma vents today. Mothra brilliantly showcases bioluminescence and ultrasonic communication, which is exactly how real-world moths and insects interact beyond human hearing. The terrifying Mudos act just like deep-sea parasitic ecosystems that feed off larger hosts, like whales. And Behemoth, the walking mountain? He's a micro-version of certain real-world turtles and crabs that carry entire micro-ecosystems of life right on their shells. And then we have the anomaly, King Ghidorah. To understand Ghidorah, we have to look at planetary terraforming. This is the process where an advanced organism deliberately changes a planet's atmosphere and ecology to suit itself, totally wiping out whatever life is currently there. Ghidorah isn't an Earth monster. He is a terrifying, scientifically plausible, invasive alien species. In modern astrophysics and exoplanet research, scientists actually study how an advanced extraterrestrial entity might arrive at a planet and actively alter its environment to make it habitable for themselves, completely destroying the native ecosystem in the process. This dynamic completely reframes the epic cinematic battles we see on screen as something much deeper than just giant monsters punching each other. Godzilla acts as Earth's immune system, fighting off an alien infection. It's an ecological defense mechanism. Godzilla is of this Earth, powered by it, and deeply connected to its natural balance. Ghidorah is the invasive pathogen trying to rewrite the planet's biology. It is literally biology functioning on a macro-planetary scale. Section 5. The Global Dominance Hierarchy. Order in the Animal Kingdom. All of this leads us to a really fascinating behavioral question. Why would a globe full of massive radioactive monsters ever fall into an organized hierarchy rather than just endless chaotic destruction? Well, it's because alpha behavior is deeply ingrained in nature. Complex social behavior naturally creates dominance hierarchies. We see it with wolf packs deferring to their alphas and elephant herds following their matriarchs. There's an immediate instinctual response to physical posturing and sound. In the Monsterverse, Titans communicate this dominance across the globe using infrasound, low-frequency vibrations sent right through the Earth's crust. And amazingly, that is exactly what real elephants do today, communicating through the ground via infrasound across dozens of kilometers to establish order and location. It's wild. 9 million. That is roughly the number of species we have officially identified on Earth. But get this, scientists estimate that our planet could be home to anywhere between 8 million and a staggering 1 trillion individual species. We're finding thousands of bizarre, beautiful, and totally unexpected new creatures every single year, hidden in our oceans, deep caves, and rainforests. So the crucial point is this. The ocean covers 71% of the Earth, but less than 20% of it has been explored. When you combine the vast unmapped depths of our oceans with the 99.8% of the Earth's subterranean layers we've literally never touched, you quickly realize that massive paradigm-shifting discoveries are still scientifically possible. The idea of millions of undiscovered, highly evolved creatures hiding in the dark isn't just movie magic, it's a mathematical probability.
Which leaves us with this final, powerful thought. The Earth remembers what we have forgotten. These ancient titans aren't coming to destroy us. They're a reminder that this magnificent ancient planet was theirs first. Life has found ways to survive, evolve, and grow to limits we haven't even begun to dream of. So the next time you look out at the vast ocean or stare down into a dark, deep cave, ask yourself, what else is still sleeping down there, just waiting in the dark to be discovered?